Okay, I have my garbanzo beans. I've picked the bad pieces out, and I probably should have shown you that the next time I use raw or uncooked garbanzo beans for any recipe. I'll let you see how I go through and pick out the bad ones. But again, I'm using uncooked garbanzo beans that have soaked. I have a half of a red onion and I've cut it up in pieces. I have 3 stalks of green onion that I've cut in chunks. And I have my baby arugula, the dill weed, and I also have cilantro in here. So I'm going to start off with the garbanzo beans. I picked this spice up yesterday from Global Foods. It's called an Arabic spice, and I'm going to try that. It doesn't say what's in here, but I tell you, it smells really good. And I went and looked up Arabic spice mixtures on the internet, and they have some wonderful things in there, I think. They have cumin and nutmeg and caraway seed and some other spices. This spice smells really good. So I'll go and put the garbanzo beans in and start that, and I'll be back. All right, now I've placed all the garbanzo beans, and it was about 1.5 cups into my food processor, and I'm just going to let that pulse. So this is what the mixture is starting to look like. I'll scrape the sides. Actually, it smells like corn. It smells like I've just scraped fresh corn off the husk, and it kind of looks like corn. So here we go with another pulse. I've added my red onions and green peppers, and I put in about a teaspoonful of this Arabic spice. So I'm going to pulse again. Now my onions have been pulsed and ground and pureed in this food processor. So I'll begin to add my green ingredients. And from the falafel that I've had, that I've purchased at restaurants or at various places, when I broke it open, it looked green on the inside. So I'm adding 3 greens, baby arugula, cilantro, and dill weed. And I'll be back. Guys, I'm back. I have baby arugula, dill, and cilantro in this colander. I've rinsed my greens off with spring water. I've cut in pieces a red onion, and I have 3 green onions that have been cut in chunks. And just about ready to drain the garbanzo beans, which are right here. I'm using raw garbanzo beans. I'm going to go in and pick out the ones that shouldn't be in here, and they're going to go in my food processor. And the dish that I'm making this evening is falafel. Okay guys, I'm back. I have baby arugula, dill, and cilantro in this colander. I've rinsed my greens off with spring water. I've cut in pieces a red onion, and I have 3 green onions that have been cut in chunks. And just about ready to drain the garbanzo beans, which are right here. I'm using raw garbanzo beans. I'm going to go in and pick out the ones that shouldn't be in here, and they're going to go in my food processor. And the dish that I'm making this evening is falafel. Okay, I have baby arugula, and right, I have in this colander dill, baby arugula, and cilantro. I didn't have that much cilantro. Sliced up a red onion. I just cut it in chunks, and I sliced in pieces 3 green peppers, and this will be my guts, as you would say, along with the garbanzo beans for the falafel. And I'll be back. And as you can see, it's pulsing. I'm going to stop and add some water. Okay guys, it's ready. I had to add more spices, but this is the right consistency, and I'm going to be spooning this out into hot grease. The spices that I used were ground cumin, Celtic sea salt, rub sage, onion powder, Arabic spice mix, and cayenne pepper. And out of those 6 spices, seasonings, I used about a tablespoon of each, and had a cup of garbanzo beans, and about a little more than 8 ounces of baby arugula, about 2 ounces of dill weed, and about an ounce of cilantro. That was all the cilantro that I had. I had more on hand, I would have added more. But I've tasted this, and the good thing about cooking like this with garbanzo beans, and you're not adding any eggs or anything, any raw things. This is raw in a sense. I'm going to cook it, but you can taste it, and you don't have to worry about getting sick. So I tasted it, and it's right for my palate. So I'm going to get my pot together with my grapeseed oil and get that started, and I'll spoon it in, and I'll return. And a couple of things that I forgot to tell you that are the ingredients in here. I added 1/4 cup of amaranth flour and a teaspoon of baking soda. And I noticed when I added the baking soda, have a little bounce to the mixture. So we're going to see how this turns out. This is my first time making falafel, so we'll see. So I've spooned in several falafel. I've got 3 here that are ready. Those are a little bit too brown. My grease was a little bit too hot. Electric stoves, ovens, they're just really tricky. Gas is the best way to go if you have it. You can regulate the heat a little bit better. But I've turned my fire down, and my grease has cooled down some, and this is cooking the way that I like it. It smells wonderful. Yes, it smells like I'm cooking corn cakes. If you remember, if you were a kid, your mom used to fix corn cakes with a pot of beans or something like that. That's what I'm smelling. It just smells really good. Wonderful, really good. So I've just put in the third batch. That recipe that I just had given you, it made quite a bit of falafel. So I will be able to eat off this for several days, and perhaps I'll put some in the freezer. I would note that the pot that I'm using, it would probably be better. It would have probably worked out better if I would have had an iron skillet as opposed to stainless steel. But this is all that I have, and just making the best of what I have. And perhaps in the future, I can find a smaller iron pot to do my deep frying in. This making garbanzo beans this way, pardon me, using garbanzo beans raw this way is really amazing. I just cannot get over. So here is my completed project. This one was the last one. It got a little too brown, but that's okay. I've had two already and they taste wonderful. I used stainless steel pots, and I'm really going to make a concerted effort to find a cast iron skillet, hopefully cast iron skillet and small deep dish cast iron pot, something similar to this, so I can deep fry in. That would have made a big difference since this is an electric stove. The heat kind of goes up and down, and it will cause your items to cook a little bit too fast, but that's cool. I will be making this recipe again, and bon appetit. Oh, one other thing. If people say that, oh, I can't find anything edible, if I'm going to change my diet around and not any meat, that is a big fallacy. There's lots of things out there that you can do. You can search the internet. You can go to YouTube for sites like mine and others that have good vegan recipes. It's just a matter up to the individual on what they want to do and how much time they want to invest in themselves and invest in their food preparation.